This program was made possible by a grant from the Humanities Council of South Carolina, in cooperation with the Museum of the Cherokee in South Carolina.
The Cherokee people valued ceremony. For them, it marked a time, a place, and an experience that reminded them who they were as a people. In 1777, as they used smoke to carry up their prayers, they hoped the new treaty they were about to enter into would once and for all bring a lasting peace. Decades of tensions between Cherokee Indians and frontier settlers exploded in the year that marked American independence. In 1776, as Southern colonists prepared to fight Britain, Cherokee warriors stepped up their struggle for sovereignty. Illegal immigrants had flooded Cherokee country, building fortified houses. Settlers destroyed hunting grounds upon which the Cherokee depended for their survival. In an effort to regain control, the Cherokee warrior dragging canoe, a staunch British ally, waged guerrilla warfare throughout the southern colonies. Warriors attacked illegal settlements on the Virginia and Carolina frontiers, killing settlers, burning farms, and taking captives. In retaliation, colonial powers sent 6,000 militiamen to make war on the Cherokee. The militia swept through Cherokee country, burning more than 50 towns and destroying tens of thousands of bushels of corn. In the winter of 1776, thousands of Cherokee women and children fled to the woods, and many that winter perished. After the destruction, Colonel Andrew Williamson summoned the Cherokees to a talk. In February 1777, Cherokee delegates traveled to Charlestown, South Carolina, to meet Williamson and the new rebel governor, John Rutledge. In his council chambers, the Cherokees lamented their blindness in being misled by British agents. If the Cherokee continued to impose war, Rutledge warned, their ruin would be inevitable. In a display of power, Rutledge paraded the town militia and showed the Cherokees stores of gunpowder while boasting of their victory over the British at Sullivan's Island. The Cherokees afterward agreed to treaty talks in the spring. Colonel Andrew Williamson burned 33 Cherokee towns in the Carolinas, and afterward, Governor Rutledge appointed him Indian Commissioner. Cherokee delegates from their destroyed lower, middle, and valley towns convened with Williamson on May 20th, 1777, at DeWitt's Corner, South Carolina, now called Due West. Williamson was joined by Charleston revolutionary William Henry Drayton. The Cherokee delegates included the Bird and the Man Killer.
I am now in my beloved brother's house. My people have seen their folly, and I hope my beloved men of Charlestown will take me by the hand. I am sent by my nation with a good talk, and I hope you will hear it. I come to talk so that the children on both sides may grow up together as the trees grow in the woods. The people of Timotley Town and the beloved men of Naui have sent a string of white beads as a token. They hope to hear back a good talk. The warrior of Cowie and the people of Akanalufti sent a string of white beads. The beloved woman sent a string of white beads and says the great man above directs all things. The great man above put us all down upon the earth. Why do we quarrel? The great man above set the white people here by the river. At first, the red people were glad to see their eldest brothers, and their brothers were very glad to see them. My Father above has told you, my eldest brothers, to take care of your youngest brothers, the red people. The people of the beloved town of Chota sent a string of wampum and hope to hear a good talk from their brothers.
Next, the Cherokee delegate called the man-killer rose to speak.
My eldest brothers and our warriors will now hear what I have to say. In the past, my great father, King George, and our warriors made the path strong. But you have broken it. You have destroyed my houses. But it is not my eldest brother's fault, but my father, the king, over the great water. I met with the warrior Williamson and had good talks with him. I am not sent as a messenger as the others are. I come of my own accord with Williamson. A beloved woman of Little Choti sent with me a string of white beads. She hopes we will make a lasting peace.
The Cherokee delegates made their mark on the treaty that stated, by rights incidental to conquest, the Cherokees surrendered to their enemies 3,000 square miles of their ancestral homeland. Article 1 of the treaty declared the Cherokee must acknowledge that rebel troops had repeatedly defeated their forces, victoriously penetrated their towns, and built and occupied the fort at Seneca. Williamson said they would continue their conquest of all Cherokee lands east of the Unicoi Mountains. If the Cherokee maintained their good behavior, he said, they could rebuild their towns his militia had burned. Williamson and Drayton pledged to send trade goods to the Cherokee and promised to regulate the chaotic trade. Any trader or pack horseman in Cherokee country without a license must be apprehended and taken to the fort. Williamson warned the Cherokees not to venture beyond the new boundary line without written permission from the commanding officer of the fort. The treaty stipulated that any Cherokee who killed a white settler must be taken to the fort and hanged. Likewise, if a South Carolinian killed a Cherokee, he would be sentenced to suffer death. All white captives and Negroes taken by the Cherokees in 1776 must be surrendered at once. Any Cherokee who captured runaway slaves and delivered them to the rebels would be paid 100 pounds of deer leather. Horses taken from the frontiers of Virginia, Georgia, and the Carolinas must also be returned. The final article stated that the hatchet shall be forever buried, and there shall be a universal peace and friendship reestablished between Cherokees and South Carolina. The treaty lastly called for a general oblivion of injuries, but not for Dragging Canoe. He refused all invitations to talk and vowed never to give up the fight.